What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today, I know Black Friday is coming around the corner. I know a lot of you guys are looking for new boxing gear, specifically new boxing gloves. So we're going to be reviewing a $40 pair of boxing gloves versus a $200 pair of boxing gloves. But before the video starts, go ahead to like, comment, subscribe. Y'all know we post content daily. Should have another video out this week, a little sparring reaction. Y'all seem to really enjoy me sparring Zoom. So there should be another one coming out soon with another great boxer from my state. Be on the lookout for that. Besides that though, let's go ahead, get into the video. All right, so let's start with the $40 pair of gloves. These are going to be the Sting Arma Plus gloves. I've had these for a while now. I want to say a couple months. And the only reason I really bought them is because I was looking for a new pair of strap-on gloves. I was like, man, I don't want to drop $100. I know they're one of the official sponsors, USA Boxing. So let's see how these gloves are and let's see how they do. And honestly, I will say I am very pleasantly surprised with these gloves. First things first, they do fit very snug on the hand. So if you put this glove on your hand, I actually just worked out in these, so they're still sweaty, which is kind of disgusting. But if you put these on their hand, they're very easy to open. They're very sleek, they're very small, which is actually pretty good because when I'm fighting, I do fight in 10-ounce gloves. So having a super huge glove that blocks my face, it might give me a false sense of defense that is not really there in comparison to a fight glove. You feel me? But with these, they are very sleek, they are very small, very easy to open. The only thing I will say is, as you can see, there's not a ton of wrist support. It's very easy to bend your wrist though, so it's very easy to throw your hooks and curl your hooks. But there's not a ton of wrist support. I do wish there was a bit more. There's the like mesh kind of padding in the front. With that, it's a little bit more breathable so my hands don't get super hot in the gloves. I've had gloves before where it literally feels like my hand is on fire anytime I'm boxing because of how much heat and air is trapped in there. With these, not a problem. Now, one of my favorite things about the gloves, you'll also see it with the other gloves I got, the thumb isn't just connected by a strap. I really hate that because that does lead to me getting some thumb injuries when it's just like a little piece of cloth right there, because my thumb can either hit somebody's head the wrong way or it can just land wrong on the bag. However, with these, they do have like a whole little padding right here. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, right here. It's a little piece of leather. Keeps the thumb attached, but also it's not going to allow you to move that thumb out. So very good hand protection. These are a very good glove, especially if you're in a lower bit of a budget. Also designed to have a ton of different colorways. I just picked the classic black just because black goes with everything. So love the glove, but I do wish it had a little bit more wrist support. Now next up, guys, these are the $200 gloves. These are my favorite gloves I have probably ever had. These are the RS1 Ultra 2.0 sparring gloves from Rival. And I'm gonna tell y'all now, Black Friday is what? I'm filming this on Thursday. Black Friday is tomorrow, right? Well, no, I'm filming this on Wednesday. Black Friday's in a couple days. Either way, I will be buying a new pair of these gloves. These gloves made me fall in love with Rival. First things first, they're still very sleek, they're still very small, they're still very compact. Honestly, they might be a little bit more compact than the other ones, but they're still 16-ounce gloves. Both of these gloves are 16-ounce. They're very sleek, very easy to open. Like I said with the other gloves, they still have the little leather, like little thumb piece, which is very nice. However, just better material, hand fits snug in it. There's also a, I don't even know exactly how to pronounce this, ergo lace track system in the glove. So when you're lacing up, a lot of times, hardest part about having lace up gloves is people do not have to know how to tie you up, and then your wrist is kind of not protected. The glove might not be tight enough. And honestly, it is a hassle to just find somebody that knows how to tie gloves. A lot of people just don't know how to tie boxing gloves. However, with this track system, you can kind of just say follow it, cross it, follow it. And my girlfriend ties me up all the time now just because it kind of makes it easier for her. So I know it's not the biggest thing when looking at gloves, but it definitely helps out. Also, the look of the glove is dope. I can already tell you, just like the small little things, the little Rival logo here, 16 ounces on the side. So when the coach is like, man, are them 16s? I've literally had coaches come up because the gloves are very small. Man, are them 16s? And I'll be like, yeah, right there, 16 ounces. It works. Nice look at the glove, good little RS1 patch right here. On top of that, one of the downsides of having lace-up gloves is the simple fact that they are lace-up. So if somebody's not around you to tie them, it's pretty hard to, sorry, I thought someone was working in. It's pretty hard to actually tie the gloves and get work in. But what you can do is you can go on Amazon and you can buy these little lace and loop things. I have a pair in my bag, but They're kind of old. I kind of need to get new ones. But you can actually tie a little strap to this, and then you just, now they're strap-on gloves. So it's pretty easy. These were $179 before taxes and everything kicked in, but they are 100% well worth the money. Now, if you're looking at investing in a pair and you had to ask me which pair would I want to get, I'm going to tell you honestly, it really depends on what you're gaining with boxing and your budget. Now, if you do have the budget to go out and get the $170 gloves, I would say be careful, because if you get the wrong gloves, you just spend $170 on some gloves you don't like. Personally, I had that mistake with Clayton Reyes gloves. Bought a pair of Clayton Reyes. They were super stiff, super tight. Had them for a whole year, and I'm talking about I would literally put the glove on, guys, and my hand would go numb. Never broke in, never liked them. Now, to that opposite point, with these bad boys, I have loved these from the minute I got them. They were broken in. Same thing when I had my winning gloves. With my winning gloves, they were like a pillow from the time I got them. So be careful going out and buying a big, like, man, I'm about to drop 200 on some gloves. Be very careful with that, because you don't really know how that might turn out. But what I will say is, if you do like these gloves, I don't know exactly what sales Rival is going to do. I can co-sign these gloves. Now, all the Rival gloves, I can't co-sign. But I will say, people that I do know, who I do trust, that have Rival gloves, they do typically like the gloves. So I will say that these gloves are a very good choice. And I would 10 out of 10 recommend these gloves over, honestly, any other gloves. Outside of the winning gloves I had, these are the best gloves I had. And the only reason I chose these over the winning was the quality is amazing for the price. With the winning gloves, they're awesome. Yes, they are the best gloves. But I dropped like $500 on those gloves, and I sold them, and I got like 2 pairs of these. Like, you can't beat the price with these Rival gloves. You really can't. Now, on the flip side, I was very skeptical of getting the Sting gloves. I didn't know how I was going to feel about them. I knew I've used them at a couple fights. They were stiff when I first bought them, I will be honest. But honestly, the more I've used them, the more I've broken them in. For 40 bucks, dude, these are probably some of the best gloves I've ever bought for 40 bucks. I spent hundreds on gloves and they break in a week. I spent $50 on gloves and they break in a month. These gloves I've had for 3 months. I train pretty damn often in these gloves. I only use my Rival gloves really for sparring. However, with these gloves, had them for a while. I love them. I definitely recommend them. They're really good for drills. They help you get that fight feel without having the super big glove, very small, very sleek. So if you're on a super big budget and you want them, I think they're actually running a deal on these on Amazon right now, so they'll probably even drop down even more. But from what I've heard, all the other Sting products are good, but I've just been rocking out with the $50 gloves, and I really like them. If you do have bad wrist, though, I would say maybe stay away from these, just because, as you can see, bends very easy. But outside of that, everything's pretty good. Great knuckle support. Hand support is pretty good outside of the wrist. They feel good when you're boxing. They're not too tight. They're not too soft. They're very compact. So I would rate these gloves probably, I'd give them a 7 out of 10. If you take the price into consideration, a 7 out of 10. I will give them that. But that's going to wrap up the videos, guys. Let me know what type of gloves you have in the comments. I hope you enjoy your Thanksgiving. Pay attention to all these boxing Black Friday deals. I know Rival is running a sale. You can grab you these. They're definitely going to be on sale. Probably 20, maybe 30% off. Who knows what Rival is going to do. Also, if you're on a little bit of a budget, go ahead, grab the Sting gloves. Trust me, you will not regret it. These are awesome gloves. Both valid options I've been rocking out with. I got 25 fights. I co-sign them. Besides that, though, hope you have a great Thanksgiving. Don't let nobody ruin your day. Tell somebody you love them. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, y'all.